Let's talk about Attack on Titan. This won't be a praising video, I'll save that for another time, but y'all read the title, so full on super duper mooper spoiler warning if you are not caught up on the manga, because I will be talking about the final chapter. So please leave now. If you want to wait for the anime, you could do that. You should probably read the manga and catch up on it, because I'm sure that someone else will spoil it for you. So now that that's out of the way, you're gone? Okay. Let's get into it. I do not think Eren is actually 100% dead. Because one, that would be too simple and predictable, and when has the series been any of those two, let's be honest. Two, I do not feel his death would make any thematic sense, given that this is a story about the cycles of hatred and war, and his death would not cause an end to either of those. Three, there have been so many fake out deaths. Levi, Hanji, Armin, Eren. And four, he saw the past, present, and future all at the same time when he made contact with Astoria. As much as he loves his friends, I doubt he would leave the fate of the world in their hands with them not having that knowledge. And five, it would make sense for Isayama to wrap up the story with us seeing Eren's POV. 137 was Armin's chapter, 138 was Mikasa's chapter, so 139 should be Eren's chapter. That way, this will be a much more fulfilling final chapter. And I don't mean fulfilling to say this will achieve all of our fan fantasies, but fulfilling in the sense of concluding our main three character story arcs. Now, in this final chapter slash POV, we know that Dr. Aaron Manhattan over here can transmute memories from alternate timelines, and one of those people, for example, is Mikasa, as we saw in the previous chapter. Now, as you probably all have noticed, this scene is a direct parallel to the first chapter. She says, "See you later, Eren," in both chapter 1 and chapter 138. Both times, the dialogue bubble is not pointing to anyone. So what that tells me is that this is something she's saying across space and alternative timelines. So I'm thinking that scene in chapter 138 when they're outside the cabin, that peaceful scene, that is just one of the many timelines that Eren showed to Mikasa. I think Eren showed Mikasa the events of the current timeline, aka the final chapter. And those events will be like this. The rumbling stops. Everyone recently turned into a Titan will remain that way because it would cheapen their deaths if they went back. So that's Gabby, John, Connie. And I think Eren has a Sasuke style plan where he wants to become the ultimate villain so that everyone hates him so much that they can't hate anything else. He willingly becomes an example of what not to do and what not to be. The world for future generations to come will see him as its ultimate villain. The world will try not to make the same mistakes that he has made to avoid creating another person like Eren Yeager. Only Team Paradise and Historia will know this. And I'll just call it. Historia's baby's name is going to be Ymir, as an homage to Jaws Titan Ymir for Historia, and as an homage to first founder Ymir for Eren. This baby Ymir will grow up with all this knowledge, give birth to the baby in the final panel, name that baby Eren, after Eren of course, finally says, "You are free," knowing that we'll not have to experience the horrors of the world before it was born. That baby's birth date will line up with our world's 2000s, hence the name of the first chapter, to you 2000 years from now, thus wrapping up a meta commentary on this story being a message to us, the readers. Maybe the baby won't be born right at the 21st century mark, but I think it will be born close to that time period for the real world, 21st century. Ever since I read the first chapter, I always thought it was more than a coincidence for the first episode to be named "To You 2000 Years From Now" and for us to be living just a little bit past the 2000s and now in the 10s and the 20s. As for the other Titan shifters like Reiner and Annie, I feel like they have this information. Eren relays this message to them as well, or maybe Mikasa does. But they have this information, they just live out their 13-year curse. We'll get a panel showing a map of the globe, and it will look just like our world, but upside down, maybe. And that pretty much wraps up my theory. I have like 5 others, but I feel like this one is the most probable. Could be 100% right. I could be 1000% wrong. I am recording this as of April 6th, and we will all find out on April 9th. So at least it won't be too long of a wait. And with that said, I would like to hear everyone's thoughts on this theory, and I would like to hear some theories of your own. Please share, because this could be one of the greatest endings in shonen history, and I like theorizing about it. I like hearing others theorize about it. And with that said, I will see you guys in the next video. So like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell, and bye-bye.